wanted, what I needed. It wasn't like I'd had anything else to do, being by myself nearly nonstop for 2 months. I'd thought about making a list, but I was done with lists and schedules. I'd spent the last decade listening to other people tell me what I could and couldn't do. I was over plans. Done with a whole lot of things and people, honestly. And just as soon as I had thought of the place that had been home once, I knew that was what I wanted to do. The idea just felt right. I'd gotten tired of driving around looking for something to set my life back into some semblance of order. I'd figure it out, I had decided. New year, new Aurora. So what if it was June? Who said your new year had to start on January 1st? Am I right? Mine had officially started with a lot of tears on a Wednesday afternoon about a year ago. And it was time for a newer version of the person I'd been back then. That's why I was here. Back in the town I'd grown up in. 20 years later. Thousands of miles away from Cape Coral and everyone and everything in Nashville. Free to do whatever I wanted to do for the first time in a long, long time. I could be whoever I wanted to be. Better late than never, right? I blew out of breath and shook my shoulders to wake myself up a little more, wincing at the ache that had taken them over back when I'd gotten the rug pulled out from under me and never left. Maybe I had no real idea of what I was going to do long term, but I was going to figure it out. I couldn't find it in me to regret my decision to drive here. There were plenty of things in my life I regretted, but I wouldn't let this choice be one of them. Even if I didn't end up staying in the area long term, the month I had reserved in Pagosa Springs was going to be nothing in the grand scheme of life. It was going to be a stepping stone for the future. Maybe a Band-Aid for the past. A boost to the present. It's never too late to find a new road, as my friend Yuki sang. I had driven all this way to Colorado for a reason, and nothing was going to be in vain. Not my butt cheeks hurting, my shoulders aching, my sciatic nerve acting up, or even how much my eyes needed a light bulb and a nap. And if I could feel the start of a headache right above my eyebrows, then that was just part of the journey. A building block for the fucking future. No pain, no gain. And if I didn't get into my car again for another month, that would be great too. The idea of being behind the wheel for another minute made me want to puke. Maybe I'd buy another car while I was at it, now that I thought about it. I had the blood money for it. Might as well use it for something I would actually need, since my existing one didn't have 4-wheel drive. Now. New. Present. The past was staying where it was. Because as much as I would have liked to light it on fire and watch it burn, that couldn't happen. Mostly because I'd go to jail for double homicide. And that kind of thing was frowned upon. Instead, I was moving on without a criminal record. And this was the next step. Bye, Nashville and everything there. See you later, Florida, too. Hello, Colorado and mountains and a peaceful, hopefully happy future. I was going to will that shit into existence. Like Yuki would also sing. If you put things out into the universe, hopefully someone will listen. The hard part was over. This was my future. Another step in the next 33 years of my life. I should thank the Joneses for it, really. Maybe not for taking advantage of me, but at least I knew now what I'd been in, who I'd been surrounded by. At least I had gotten out. I was free. Free to go back to where I'd spent the first part of my life. To see the place where I'd last seen my mom. The same place she had loved so much and that held so many good memories. As well as the worst. I was going to do what I had to do to keep going with my life. And the first step was to make a left down a dirt road that was technically called a county road. Gripping the steering wheel as hard as I could, as my tires drove over one pothole after another, I pictured the last blurry memory I had of my mom. The image of her greenish-brown eyes, the same ones I saw in the mirror. Her very medium brown hair, not dark but not light, was another thing we shared. At least until I'd started coloring my hair.